Welcome to the 2023 edition of the Living Healthy Report, brought to you by Healthylife on behalf of Woolworths Group. I'm Simone Austin, Chief Health Officer and Chair of the Advisory Board here at Healthylife. In this year's Living Healthy Report, we tell a story about our nation's health with a pulse check on how we're faring during the current challenging times. In particular, we hone in on the burden of disease in Australia and the enormous amount that can be prevented. But first, what does burden of disease mean? Essentially, it's a measure of the amount of health that's lost as a result of living with or dying early from a disease or injury. Currently, the burden of disease in Australia could be significantly reduced, with up to 33% of it being preventable by addressing modifiable risk factors such as diet, sleep and exercise. It's a pressing matter. In 2018 alone, Australians lost 5 million years of healthy living due to premature death and living with non-fatal illness. The good news? An enormous amount of disease burden can be prevented with investment in evidence-based initiatives. And that's where our report comes in. Our advisory board has analysed the current trends and important influences on Australia's health, alongside our own data, to highlight the key suggestions for how government, industry, Woolworths Group and the wider community can really help Australians live healthier for longer. So what do we find? We took a close look at how Australians are purchasing food for at-home eating and how it stacks up against the Australian dietary guidelines. We found that none of the recommended daily serves for any of the core food groups, meaning our intake of fruit, veggies, grains, dairy and alternatives, lean meats and alternatives like legumes, were actually being met. So what does this mean for our health, and what are actionable steps we can take to improve this? And then looking at sleep, currently half of Australians report having at least one symptom of a sleep disorder. Sleep's critical for our general health and well-being. So what can we do to help advocate for better sleep health? And on the exercise front, with 24.5% of Australian adults 18 to 64 actually meeting the physical activity guidelines, what can we do to increase movement further into our daily lives and increase the numbers actually hitting the targets? Preventive health is key, which is the focus of our Living Healthy report for 2023. We invite you to read and download the report, share it. It's more than a long life we aspire for. It's how many years of healthy living we have along the way.